because I understand what submission means. I know submission just simply means I trust your leadership. I'm aware that you're trying to protect me at all costs. So if you tell me don't go pump my gas at night, I submit to that, knowing that you're trying to protect me from whatever's at the gas station at night. Otherwise, if I'm not submitting to you, I'm not under your covering, I'm not under your leadership or your headship, I'm just doing what I want to do because you can't tell me what to do, then I'm not protected. So whatever comes at me at the gas station at night, that's on me. That's not on you. You tried to protect me. I think since the Bible says for wives to submit to their husband, if they're planning on getting married, then they need to work on becoming the wife that the Bible says that you should be before getting into the marriage. If you wait until you get married before you're like, I'll just learn to submit later, I'll practice that stuff later, I'll practice selflessness later after we tie the knot, you're probably not going to get to the point of walking down the aisle. And whereas for us, you saw submissive qualities in me before we got married, like while we were dating. I wasn't fully submitting to you, to your leadership, and you weren't fully, leading me and providing and protecting over me before we got married. But I saw those qualities in you, you saw those qualities in me, and we were able to grow in that. And we've been married 10 years now. I'm not at the level of submission that I was our first year of marriage. I have grown immensely. And you have such a track record of good leadership for me and our family. I don't have to think twice whenever you're like, let's do this, or no, let's not do this. I'm just like, okay, sure thing. I'm not oppressed. It's not, I don't feel manipulated or being taken advantage of or anything like that, because again, I understand what submission means. In the feminist era that we're living in, it came a lot from feminists and, boss chicks, and I could do what I want to do. I'm empowered. I'm a woman, so I should be able to do anything with no consequences. We're in that era, which is straying very far away from traditional biblical values where there was a hierarchy in marriage, God over the husband, who's over the wife, who's over the children. And that design makes sense. And when you operate in it, life is just so much more easier. But when you're trying to just force your way out of that, nobody could tell me what to do. There's consequences to every action, whether you like those consequences or whether you want to admit it or not. So you can't just, I'm empowered, I can do whatever I want, nobody can tell me what to do. Because really, people do tell you what to do on a daily basis, and you submit to them on a daily basis. The trash man says, put your trash cans on the curb Wednesday night, and you do it. The speed limit says go 65, and you do it. Your boss says turn this in by 5 p.m., and you do it. The HR person says don't wear that to work again anymore, and you do it. So you submit to everybody else. You don't have a problem with that, but you have a problem with the idea of submitting to a husband. Because you see all those other things as authorities. You feel like they are protecting you, they're keeping you safe. It makes sense to follow what they're saying, but you don't see a husband as an authority. So that's where the issue lies. Before you walk down the aisle, you should be able to see leadership qualities in this person. Can he protect? Does he have the instincts to want to protect you? Does he seem like he would be a good leader? Does he have some kind of track record while you guys are dating that he was trying to be a good leader, even if you didn't let him? But as far as people that are already married and maybe something changed with their husband, or their husband just never was a good leader and they're just now realizing it, I would say just start with working on yourself. You can be an example even not as a leader. You can still be an example that he can follow. And we see that, and I think 1 Peter 3, that the conversation and behavior of a believing wife can influence a non-believing husband. Even for us, not that you were a bad leader before, but even for us in our first, 1 or 2 years of marriage, when I started focusing on what I could do and how I could be a better spouse, that's when our marriage got better. So you don't always have to just wait on them to do their role before you step into your role.